What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the LV Raider 10 YouTube channel. And it is week number 8, the Raiders versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming into Las Vegas 6-0. And the Raiders are obviously coming off a hard loss against the Los Angeles Rams last week. Do I think that there is any way that this Raiders team can beat this 6-0 Chiefs team? I definitely do. But let's go ahead and see what the NFL thinks.
Las Vegas returns home from their old home, which did not treat them very kindly.
Minshew running for his life, chased by Verse, throws downfield, it's picked off! McCullough, that's it! The Rams are gonna win it!
No worries, it's not like they face an unbeaten team that's never lost in their stadium or anything.
Steps away, gets around Fred Warner. Oh, what a run! Now dances for the ball. He's still in bounds. Patrick Mahomes racing to the end zone. He's out of bounds.
You know, the Raiders are still the last team to beat the Chiefs going back to last year. I mean, obviously we don't have Aiden O'Connell. I'd feel probably a little bit better if we had Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. But hey, the Raiders are still the last team to beat the Chiefs. Why can't they do it again?
How did he do that?
Oh well, in this case, those are both true of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the glaring mismatch in this game, their defense 5th in points per game allowed versus a Vegas offense 26th in scoring. And securely in the hands of Gardner Minshew now, who comes in off a 3 INT outing, no touchdowns, a 21 rating, just 4.5 per attempt.
It's intercepted! It's picked off on the play by McCullough!
He didn't really have much to work with versus LA. No Jacoby Myers again. Maybe he comes back from his ankle injury. It was pretty much just Brock Bowers versus the Rams, who went for 93 yards, 70 plus yards, 3 straight.
And he's got Bowers, first down.
Kansas City did give up 90 plus yards to tight end George Kittle. Didn't hurt them, and Vegas didn't win off what Bowers did. Minshew tangling with a secondary that picked off Brock Purdy 3 times, no touchdowns allowed, holding quarterbacks to a low 80s rate for the year.
Yeah, if they force that many turnovers against a well-coached and usually disciplined San Francisco 49ers team last week, oh man, I think we're probably going to see Desmond Ridder pretty early in this game. Yeah, we really need to stop these turnovers that we've been having the last couple of, well, basically this whole season. This whole season has been riddled with turnovers by Gardner Minshew specifically.
And as he throws, it's intercepted! Oh my goodness, Jaden Hicks picks it off in the end zone!
Chiefs will blitz Minshew. They have the 7th highest blitz rate. George Karlaftis collected his 2nd sack last week.
He gets sacked. First one of the day for the Chiefs, and it's George Karlaftis.
Rico Dynamite versus 5+ this season, sub 80 rating, so not good. He could use Alexander Madison a lot then. He pulled in 31 receiving yards versus LA along with 92 ground yards.
Madison grinding his way, and he's still on his feet and finally brought down.
Kansas City defense he faces held Jordan Mason to 4.1 a run. He's a 5+ guy. They've held running backs to 3.3 a carry, 2nd lowest in the NFL.
Mason is not going to get it on 3rd and 1. Wow. 2nd and 1 run, 3rd and 1 run, and no yards.
Since we're talking run games, let's make our way to the Chiefs offense. That's right, Chiefs rush attack responsible for all 4 of their TDs last week. Raiders defense has all 3 kinds of runners to worry about too. Wide receiver Mecole Hardman, 38 yards and a score.
Hardman has some room on the jet sweep. Mecole Hardman gets through a block and down inside the 20.
Running back Kareem Hunt scored twice, 78 yards.
Good cut and another one, and Kareem Hunt surging to the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City.
And quarterback Patrick Mahomes, 39 yards and a TD.
Mahomes gonna walk in. Touchdown.
Raiders did hold Kyren Williams to under 4 a carry, giving up 4.9 a run to running backs in 2024. Haven't handled wide receiver handoffs well. Solid versus quarterbacks at least. And they were more than solid versus Matthew Stafford's arm. No touchdowns, 1 pick, held him to 154 yards, a low 60s rate.
Deflected, intercepted, Spillane, and the ricochet.
Yeah, I think the Raiders defense is going to be really key here. Well, going forward this entire season, it should be key for this team in general, but for this game specifically, it should be key. Mahomes is not having a Mahomes-like year. He's been kind of low on the passing yards. I think this is the most interceptions, or he's on pace for the most interceptions that he's had in his career. So if we can capitalize on a Mahomes down year, I think that's where we kind of have to be able to play this Chiefs team. Their run offense, I think that the Raiders have a good run defense. Obviously, it would have been better with Christian Wilkins and, all of our injured players on the field, but I think that we could be able to hold their rushing attack. The big problem is, how long is this defense going to be out on the field? If we turn over the ball as many times as we did against the Rams, it's going to be difficult to ask a lot from the defense if they're out on the field for, I don't know, 50% or plus of this game.
Shea to Hobbs. Here he goes. Look at Hobbs inside the 15.
Raiders with 1 sack last week. Crosby is more Mad Max than ever these days. Half a sack in 5 of his 6 games. Doesn't even have that funny looking kid to help.
They get by Jet. Oh, he's whacked up the middle. Hit hard on the play. Butler. Matthew Butler and others. Crosby met him there.
So makes Mahomes the Wez in this flick. Kinda has mohawk hair, right? Crosby and him not always on the friendliest of terms. Mahomes hasn't had a very friendly 2024. No touchdowns last week. 2 picks, a 44 rating, 6 touchdowns, 8 INTs on the season.
Steps in, lost one, Worthy fell down, it's intercepted beyond Illinois.
Yeah, exactly what I had said just previously. Mahomes is having a bad year. If we can capitalize on forcing turnovers, getting our offense out there. I know that the Chiefs' run defense is pretty good, but we're going to have to rely on Alexander Mattison, because if there's no Jacoby Myers again and Gardner Minshew is throwing the ball, we're going to turn the ball over. So we're going to have to try and rely on our run game, who has been recently doing pretty well. So that's, I think, it's going to probably be how we have to handle this Chiefs team offensively.
If you just looked at his stats without knowing his name or the sitch, you'd be calling for the backup a la that lady in the commercial. Travis Kelce, a Raiders killer normally, 17 yards versus San Francisco. Hardman, Xavier Worthy, fewer than 20 yards. Noah Gray's the chief on the offense with the most mojo, 66 yards a week ago.
And he lets it rip. Noah Gray wide open into San Francisco territory.
True story. We had a joke in the Titans preview this week about what they thought they could get for D-Hop from the Chiefs. Had to cut it out last minute. Raiders 2-5. Teams that go 2-6 only make the playoffs 1.6% of the time. 3-5, and we're talking 10%. Those rates since 1990. KC makes it to 7-0. It's the 100% club. There's supposedly a Chiefs jersey underneath Allegiant Stadium, put there by a Kansas City fan as a curse. So far, so good. Mahomes hasn't lost there yet. From 2013 to the present, the two teams have played 22 times total. Chiefs have won 18.
And here we go. Obviously, the Chiefs are heavily favored, as they should be. They should be heavily favored. They are a 6-0 team, arguably the best or one of the best teams in the NFL currently. But man, this graphic is ugly. I do not want to see this many Kansas City Chiefs stuff in front of my face ever again, honestly. But let's see. At home, 27-17. Okay. Usually a friendly MJD to the Raiders, considering he played there, has us at 24-9 losing. That's not good. Who has the closest score? 17-13. I mean, at least Grant think that it's going to be a game, somewhat close of a game. So as you can see, the Raiders are going to be pretty busy this weekend with the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. And as they touched on in the preview already, they acquired DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not sure how effective DeAndre Hopkins is going to be, considering that he has 1 week to learn the offense. Obviously, when a team going against the Raiders, picking it up last minute hasn't hurt the Raiders before, right? A la Baker Mayfield. But DeAndre Hopkins is an older receiver. Obviously, the Chiefs lost Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, and they've been pretty injured this year, but despite that, they've been also one of the best teams in the NFL. That just shows how good of a coach team they are. And I think the keys to us winning this game is, like I touched on, we have to lean hard on the running game. Time of possession is going to be huge in this game if we want to win this game. We have to control the ball. Turnovers, of course, are always very vital to winning a football game, and we can't be the ones to be turning the ball over. Like I said, also, we just got Desmond Ridder, so I think Minshew is going to be on a short leash, because we already seen how much trouble he has with holding on to the ball and giving the ball up. So having another at least former starter in this league as a backup, I think he's going to have a pretty short leash. I know some fans already want to see Desmond Ridder starting. Obviously that's not going to happen. Maybe next week, depending on how Minshew does in this game. But I don't think we'll see Desmond Ridder until at least next week, hopefully. Defensively, I think what we need to do is force turnovers. Patrick Mahomes is obviously not having the best year. More interceptions than touchdowns this season. And we have to control the run game. I really liked the Raiders' run defense, especially last week against the Rams, against Kyren Williams, who is a top back in this league. They really did hold him. So I think if we're able to do that again, this game might be a little bit closer than a lot of people think. And hopefully we can get that win and break that Allegiant curse, as they said. But what do you think, Raider Nation? Please like, please subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think that the final of this game is going to be. But as always, just win, baby.